All right, we're back here. I'm on Wager Minds, and I've got the leading handicappers, right, leaderboard, sorted for this year by the NBA. So this is a couple days after I pulled some of that out of the data. I know it's very manual. Now, Clara B was the top I was looking at before with like 80, 78 units, and she or he, I want to say she, has fell significantly to 40 units. Now, Menaker, sports investing, was at 53, and so he hasn't had any activity. He was 129 and 90. Let me look into his profile. And so when I'm looking at these guys, now I can say something, right? He started on January 5th. Basically, he's pretty flat. I know he started way back in time, but I don't see any bets back there. Once I get to January 15th, he's 2 units, and then boom, 84. So he made 84 in a day, right? 143, right? 174, what, 219? He peaked. And then he came right back down, right? And happens all the time when you see people. Now, if you're out here, they'd be promoting him, right? And say, hey, he's whatever he is. He's making tons of units. And he is, but he's making a ton of bets, right? He's actually negative now, and he gave up, basically. That's his all bets. I mean, he probably does all kinds. He's doing NHL, college basketball, and NBA are kind of dominating the months of January and February. Let me take a look at his NBA because that's what got him on the radar. So he had a little bit of trough, went down 50 units, came back real strong that day. So his time period is January 16th to February 3rd. So he's not picking anymore after this. Not going to be helpful for you to follow him as a picker. But in those short period of time, he made 1,548 bets, and you can see NHL, college basketball, some NBA. And what you need to do is there might be a better way to scrape the data out of here, but I do this. I've got the debugger open in the right. So F12 in Chrome will give you a debugger. 45. So you can see how it's jumping 15. I'm up to 60, right? I got to do this 100 times. But there's a little bit of a shortcut. So I'll show you a little bit of a shortcut. Let me get out to 120. And then I need to find element here that expands it out. I think I've already expanded it out. So yeah, here's where I want to be. That's the element that I'm talking about. And so I want to take this off hidden. This is the amount they show at a time, which is the 15. I'm going to make that unhidden. And I'm going to set the page back to 0. This will trick the system into thinking that you just did the first page at 120, and when I change this 15 up here that's now shown to 120, it thinks that it's doing 120 increments. So neat little trick that over time can save you some time here. So you can see it went to 240, it's going to go to 360. All very exciting. Now when people have a less amount of bets, like my bets, right? You can get those pretty quickly. Hit the more. Let me stop at 600 and reset this page back to 0. This will speed things up. I gotta scroll back up. Depends on how fast you can click that button, I guess. That more button. Make this 600. Whoops. 600. So now it thinks that it's done the first page at 600. So we'll do 600 at a time. I don't know a better way to get the data out of here, but I figured I'd share this with you in case you're a data freak. And so that should have got you to 1,200. I got to scroll over here to make it quicker. There's 1,200, so I got to do one more. Get me down to 1,584 picks he had in that time period. So let me highlight. Oh, come on. There we go. That should highlight them all. Now I got to come over to Excel, and this is where I have my macros. Got to paste it special as text because those damn icons will crash Excel. And so you can see what format it comes out in here. It's not as nice as you thought it would copy. So somewhere, there's my 600. Somewhere in the first 50. So you can see on, this goes backwards. 2-3 NHL Penguins, Pittsburgh, and then it's got to blend it with the next one. So I got to have a macro to extract what I want to extract out of that. So it doesn't come in nicely. But fortunately, I have one of those macros. And so this is going to go in and list all the games, the sides. Pulled all that data off from this column and put it into sequential columns. And then I stripped out what wasn't, NHL and college basketball. So I just have the NBA ones left. I have to check the bottom because that my macro doesn't fix the last one, but it's Georgia State. It's college basketball. So if I wanted to know college basketball, I could redo it to do college basketball, see if he's any, got, this is, see if he's a winner, first of all, in that. You would do that on the web page. But as I came back over here, we saw this, and we know that his max bet amount was 300. But let me just, to get there, I have to put 100, and I'm going to run the data that pulls every single day. So this is the days he bet. He bet those 14 days. This is what he bet per day, whether he is positive or negative in aggregate, and this was his MOOP. So he needed to put $2,100 in the first day because he had $2,100 in bets, but it changes over time, right? So his MPD is 4,200 and minus 51 MOOP. So I know I can't go 4 times that. If I go 4 times that, my MOOP will, well, my MOOP may not drop out. I think it's scalable, but definitely, I guess it is scalable. Depends on what the MOOP goes, but so I go 300. So I know it's kind of unfair. Maybe I could do 380, right? If I wasn't doing 100 increments, would that get my MOOP in? Yeah, just so somewhat like 380, right? This is all scalable when you get over here, but 300 is what I put in. That's how I derived him getting that 12.6 minus 1,500 in MOOP. So neither one's close to the 2,000 because of the spread here, because it's such a low bet amount. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, he would have been plus, instead of plus 3,200, he plus 41 if he did 380, right? If you could work that. So this is just theoretical stuff to work out, right? He could have been, again, it's very aggressive, but it's a way to judge. And he would have been, 20.6% instead of 16, but still low ROI. So let me set that back to 300. Run it again just to confirm. And I can do that. That's what you got to do for all these guys. Now, not everybody has all these picks, right? So Bam Bam Bigelow, 13 and 11, but he got 44 units. He must have had a huge negative, a huge underdog with money line. Again, I should have said, hey, he bets money, he bets over, he bets sides. I give him a little more dice in the sides than the money's in the overs. Yeah, he only bet one day, January 29th. So he made 87 bets that day. So I don't need to do any tricks. I can just click this 4 or 5 times to get out to 87. Sometimes you can run the stats for the year, right? I'd want NBA, but you can, clearly he's an NBA picker. I think this Medicare Sports might have been more of a. Let me do NBA for the year. Sometimes this calculation runs. If they're active, if they're not active, it won't run. So let me just make sure. Oh, he's not active. So that takes forever to do. Sometimes it's not up to date. Not active, it means he's got a 0 ranking. He hasn't bet in a while. Let me look at the Maxim organization. I don't know if we had him on our list. Again, he's actually huge negative, but let me do NBA because that's how he showed up on the radar. So he went up one day, he went up 55 units, and then he dropped to 43, and then he quit. So you get a lot of this kind of stuff, right? Alternate investing, that sounds like a good name. I like investing. That's the mindset of some people. This means maybe he's a little more legit than just trying to, win a contest. You don't get any money. Good thing about WagerMine, it's a good place for people to, I'm just killing time here, right? Because I don't know why it's not coming up quick. Sometimes this WagerMine does that. Come on, alternate investing. But yeah, there's this class of people that are investing. Now he only played 2 days, or whatever he played, so he wasn't real helpful. 73 and 63 on the NBA. Good question. Why does he show up as 43 plus units? Oh, he is. Oh, I'm sorry. The first day he won 78 units, and then he dropped to 43. So it's possible to win 78 units in a day. You got to bet a crap load. 139 bets on those 2 days. So he played 2 days. Clara B, we know about. She was up at 80. Nothing to write home about. A little bit up, a little bit down. Definitely someone kind of where at least is going to give picks for you, right? And was up, of course, won a ton of money in the first 3 days. Didn't win a lot of money for you. Came back actually, got up above it, and it has had a fall off. Again, not great ROI per my standards, but you know, can follow it. But I'd rather follow me. Mad Lib. Take a look at Mad Lib, see if they're worth. Up and down, rise and fall, quit, and okay, you know, nothing. Hey, he's got 35 units. If you had followed him during that short time period, again, I don't think his ROI was or wasn't there. Vegas no all bets, definitely talked about him being someone who looks like a professional. Las Vegas. Go out to Twitter. Been playing. This is why it came on my radar last year. As you can see, he came out, peaked over at 250, which puts him definitely near the top. But since that point in time, sucking eggs, went negative. So he would have lost your money. Would have lost all your money, right? You know. And NBA, of course, he's going to show up NBA this year. So a little bit down, a little bit up, and had a peak. Again, doesn't take much to get on the list. But he had a decent 50% type ROI. So with the scaling factor. LT Picks was a good one. Let me see what LT Picks looks like. Some of these people, DK, blah, 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 didn't really care about. Oh, he looks pretty good. This is a guy to keep it. And this guy had pretty good numbers. Good guy to keep. You know, he did rise back here and kind of has been flat since February 1st. He's been flat. So hasn't won you a lot of money. I like to win money all the time. That's what I'm here for, right? Wherever you pick it up. Now he does a little bit of everything. Of course, you can always go this year in NBA. I should have made sure he was. Yeah, he's got a ranking. See what he does on ATS. Okay, you know, plus 12. He's in a big OU, so you know how I feel about OUs. They're propish. You know, betting on not the weather, right? Not in basketball, but you're betting on, you know, the pace, right, or the turn. I don't know, hot win, you know, hot shooting percentage of both teams. You're not really doing turnovers. It's not like the NFL, right, where you're doing weather and turnovers. You're doing something else, right? How do you feel like playing? Now the money line he was negative on, despite going 2-6, he was just a little bit negative. So he is an ATS picker, got a decent pick rate, a lot of games. He seems to be an NBA picker. I always like to take a look at college basketball sometimes and just see. Now that was 81 plus. Sometimes the numbers are easier to crack out. They might be. So he doesn't play much college basketball. So he is an NBA picker, no NHL. So he is an NBA picker, and that's, if you're gonna, you know, sometimes these people are NHL pickers and they pick some NBA while they're here, thinking they'll get some numbers up. So he's a legit. He's somebody worth looking at. What was his ROI? If I go back here, 78. So about half. Yeah, better than half what I got, but and he's at 3,000 level. So if you scale me back to 3,000 and I'm half, about the same. Oh no, I didn't want to reset that. Come on, year NBA. It's always fun to do things over and over again. I don't care about that. Somebody's got there. Again, a lot of these people, Mad Lib is, I think there was another Mad Lib, and there was another Max Money, you know, Maxims, Mad Maxes, Maxim Consulting, Maxim, you know, there's a lot of people in this top. Mad Max Sports, Mad Lib, Mad Max, Mad Max, Mad Max. Blah, 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 blah. I have a couple systems too. I can't joust anybody here, but there's Libby, 20. She's kind of frozen out for this fourth session. Anybody else out here? Yeah, I don't even want to know who that one is. 6-0 though, right? You know, you're not gonna make money following them, even though they're 6-0, unless you got lucky. Max Money, I don't know if I did them above. Spartan. So, where did my competition go? Oh, popped up. Good job. Let's take a look at Sittler, because that was, someone was very close to me and it was popping out at 80% on NBA. This is all his picks. Nothing tremendously kind of back to even now. He's at 5 units up. NBA, oh, definitely. Dum, dum, dum. Yeah, I'll take that. And he peaked. He's past me. So maybe, I don't know if the ROI works out. Looking at this, a lot of NHL. So let's look at his year. Why not? Again. NBA year, right? So he's, a little bit up on ATS. Not much. Half of his money line loser. Stay away from those money lines. OU got some of that. Does that make sense? 4.4. I thought he would have had 22, right? Maybe it hasn't been updated for today. What's going on here? Anyways, who knows if this website went. So that was 40. Yeah, so he's an NBA picker. Got a lot more in NBA than he did on... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Now it reset itself. There we go. I must have had a glitch. So he's picked 21 games and 80... This makes sense. 81%. Plus 22 units. Doing real well on the ATS and real well on the money line. Got a little more units out of there. Again, is that sustainable? Nope. What would it drop to if he was a 65%? You know, is it down to 10? Take some, scalability is all about it there. But I ran the numbers. Seems like he's still up at 81%. So had another good day. But he is. Let me go to NHL because I just noticed that 21 was the number of picks for NBA, and he is 48 picks. 2 ties. He's picking a lot more NHL games than NBA, so he's really an NHL picker, and he's a net loser on NHL. That's probably someone you want to stay away from. You put him on my radar to start with. There's an NHL. He's an NHL. He's making twice as many NHL picks as any, so he's an NHL picker, and that's how he's doing. I guess he's a basketball picker too. So that was the closest guy that I thought was overrated. Bet one blood. Yeah, he's not making any picks, I don't think. 8-1. Real good this year. Come on, 8-1. I'm going to do him, and then I'll do me, right? My friend Libby. Come on, handicap. There we go. Yeah, he crapped out. February 11th. You haven't seen him since. He's still got a ranking. So that was all the picks. The NBA looked like that. So you're not getting any value out of him now, but there was a little run with him. You will get value out of me, at least until I give up on this stuff. So I'll probably have a huge negative out there, right? Doing all right. I've got a blend and mix of stuff. This goes over. So there's my NBA for this year. Oh yeah, this is the year. That's why I did well on my. I didn't do real well on this pick for my football, right? Because football, I did football and basketball. I thought I did last year's basketball. Yeah, this is whatever it is. Year to date. All right. So, boom. So if you follow my graph that I talk about on the other things, I just peaked up again, capped it out. 40% for me in the real world with $2,000 bets on a $20,000 bankroll, but you could scale it to 6,500 and you'd be doing 120% and you'd be up 26 grand if you were aggressive like that. All right, so I think we're done here. That's how it's done.